Since COVID-19 swept the globe in 2020, governments have introduced emergency laws and stringent travel and health advisories. These measures have not only severely impacted businesses, but also deeply crippled civil society organizations and their activities. There have been several news reports on the impact of COVID-19 on civil society, in particular on CSOs working on human rights and on marginalized groups' issues. On the topic of the effects of COVID-19 in Southeast Asia, Asia Center partnered with EFTA, the Empower Freedom Defenders in East and Southeast Asia. Our collaboration started in November 2019 when Asia Center's regional director, Dr. James Gomez, was invited to deliver the opening speech at Malaysia Transition Weekend, the first conference hosted by EFTA at the Renaissance Kuala Lumpur Hotel in Malaysia. Asia Center and EFTA published a report on COVID-19 and Democracy in Southeast Asia, Building Resilience, Fighting Authoritarianism on the 9th of December 2020. Since then, Asia Center and EFTA have been co-hosting webinars Under Attack, Academic Freedoms in Asia on the 21st of April 2021 and Celebrating Journalism, Reporting Without Fear on the 5th of May 2021.
I am joined by Dr. James Gomez, Asia Center's Regional Director, to discuss the findings of the report COVID-19 and Democracy in Southeast Asia, Building Resilience, Fighting Authoritarianism. Dr. Gomez, could you tell us what was the first impact that the pandemic had upon civil society organizations?
The first impact was really about the timing of our events. Remember, in the early days, we were rather optimistic. We all thought the pandemic, as we know now, would be very short. So we did postpone our activities when the first health advisories came, and these were often scheduled, away by 2 weeks, and the maximum was already 1 month. But as time went on and the health and travel advisories extended, we found ourselves postponing the activities indefinitely. And this led to the second immediate impact. And this was the relationship with the donors. In the early stages, when we were first, extending the events by, a couple of weeks or a month, the donors were very understanding. They knew there were health advisories, projects were spoken for, and everything was still on track, and it was all fine. But as the postponements became longer and indefinite, this is where the donors took a different tack. They started to, first of all, ask for longer explanations in terms of our strategies, in terms of what was next given the pandemic. They also began to cancel activities. In some cases, they also asked for funds that were dispersed to be returned. So this put civil society activities at great risk because we couldn't plan for the next 6 months or even a year. So these were the first two impacts that civil society organizations faced.
Okay, thank you for those insights. And can you tell us how civil society organizations adapted to the pandemic?
Well, as events became postponed and in-person meetings were not possible, we had to go digital. The first thing was really about the software. We had to subscribe to online video conferencing. We had to make use of more digital tools such as design software, so that we could start promoting, our online seminars through social media platforms. So that was one thing. The second thing was we had to really invest in digital equipment such as cameras, microphones, extra laptops, lights, even segment part of the office into some kind of a mini studios, so we could stage online activities with the clarity and stability they needed, which also meant increasing our internet bandwidth and strength, so we could beam out activities more firmly. With that, of course, it had an impact in the way we dealt with our partners and our constituents. We could no longer do face-to-face activities. So we certainly missed that dimension. But what was sort of useful was this online approach and the digital approach allowed us to strengthen our relationship. So one of the things we found going online was we were able to deepen our existing relationship with the partners. So which meant that moving forward, with a positive view to the post-pandemic situation, we have a strong basis in which to build further.
Okay, thank you for explaining the digital dimension of that. Can you explain how COVID-19 affected civil society's ability to advocate for human rights and democracy?
Certainly. In terms of issues, we certainly had to pivot. During the COVID-19, I think some of the key issues were around internet freedoms and surveillance. So as far as Asia Center was concerned, we focused a lot of our activities around evidence-based research on issues that infringe on internet freedoms, as well as data privacy, as states use this period to surveil their citizens more. So these were the key issues that we focused on during COVID-19, very important issues. And then we used both media as well as social media to advocate for it. So in terms of media, we wrote, not only did we publish reports such as this report on COVID-19's impact, but also we focused on writing op-eds to regional media, and that allowed us to articulate our reach even further. We also prepared digital content such as interviews that we are working on right now, as well as putting out infographics and other podcasts and promoting them widely on social media, and these had tractions. And last but not least, we also made several submissions related to the internet freedom to the various UN mechanisms as well. So in short, during this period of COVID-19's impact, we focused a lot on internet freedoms, surveillance, and used both the media and social media to advocate for these issues.
Okay, thank you. It's really interesting to gain a deeper insight into the advocacy issues you've encountered during the pandemic.
Certainly.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez, for these key highlights into how civil society organizations have weathered and adapted to the pandemic. Now, to learn more about COVID-19's impact on civic space in Southeast Asia, read up on Asia Center's report, COVID-19 and Democracy in Southeast Asia, Building Resilience, Fighting Authoritarianism. That was published with the support of EFTA, and our report is available on the Asia Center website at asiacenter.org.